guys, thank you for joining me. So I have been asked to show you how I build this journal. I made another one for Decorate Your Life, and let me show you. And I received one, and it's really interesting because I joked that it doesn't have a cover or a back because it's exactly the same as the pages. And it doesn't have a spine, and it doesn't have signatures. It's just a lot of interconnected pages. And I made one of these for, let me move this light, for Decorate Your Life. And I think it's an interesting approach. And then I made it more like a journal than an album because I did add a lot of writing space to it. Everywhere I could, I added lots of, that got bent. I'm gonna have to do something with that. And then everywhere I could, I added a lot of writing space. And we're gonna do that with this one too. And, like here and here, I made like accordion, pages. Look how many pages that is, you know. And then I did it on this side too. So I added pockets, tucks, and accordion writing space. And I think I still added a lot of writing space. Like here's a book with a lot of pages, you know. And I think I still pulled it off to be a journal with plenty of writing space and to still show off her lovely designs. Because I'm using another kit from Decorate Your Life, and that is not working at all, is it? I'm going to have to fix that. But I'm using another kit from Decorate Your Life, and her stuff is so pretty, I didn't want to, you know, cover it up. So then I received this little thing, and I was like, that would be perfect, because you can still do a lot to it and not cover up her pretty designs. So that's what we're doing. I don't remember exactly what all I did to that, so here's what I came up with. And I've already got some of it. And then we're going to pretty it up, okay? So what I started with, and this is a lightweight cardstock. It says it's 90-pound index paper. But what happened was I got like 10 boxes of these tab dividers off of Marketplace free. So these are one of my favorite things to construct with, right? And so what I started with was I cut this down. The image on the front is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, okay? And I got this digitally. This Fairies and Butterflies kit. I made this last night. And then I got this today, and here's the kit images just to show you. Look how pretty it is. And then these two. Okay? So then the image I printed is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. Now you could make this any size you want and just make these accommodations, okay? The base is 7 7/8 high by 9 wide. That's what this is out of this, okay? So 7 7/8 high because I wanted it just a bit bigger than that. And then I changed my mind, and we're going to get to that. But I'm showing you how I worked through it, okay? And on the top, I did on these, I'm going to work with these two. I saved two to do, to show you how I did it all. So on the top, I scored a 1/2 inch. And on the sides, I scored a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to end up cutting one of those off, but that's okay because I still wanted to show you what I did and worked through it, okay? So what I wanted was to make pockets and then attach them. Okay? So, and then also this top edge wasn't, I didn't like it, how stiff it was, how loose it was. So then what I did was I added a score and folded that down just to give it some more structure and neaten up the top edges. Okay? So that's what we're going to do first, is we are going to glue down these top folds that sorry about my tablet. I'm sorry. So we're going to glue down this top score line. And I was going to show you a trick about cutting corners. I've seen a lot of people building stuff lately, and I kind of go, eek, it could be easier than that. So then I'm going to score it. This is a score tool. And I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch. That's what we did on here, okay? And then I fold it right on the score. Let me get in the center, I'm sorry. Let me move all of this aside. And then, okay. So then I score it, right? Well, then to cut your corners neatly, lost my scissors. Okay. So if you cut from the outside in, there's a couple of rules about cutting corners that I've learned, okay? So if you cut from the outside in, you don't know where you're going to end up. You're going to end up in the ballpark of that corner, right? And you want your corners to be neat when you fold them. You want them to be neat. You don't want any extra, and you just want it a neat corner, okay? So I've learned a couple of things. Also, when you fold this in, you don't want any bulk adding to it. So what I always do is when I cut off I cut at a score area, I always cut off the score line. And then when you fold it or do whatever you're going to do, then you don't have any extra bulk. Okay? So you always trim just on the outside. You cut away the score line. That's only, I'll quit trying to say it otherwise. And you cut from the corner out. So then now I need to be on this side of the score line, and your scissors will push and stop at the score line. And then you want to cut off the score line, and you want to start at the corner, because then your corner's going to be cut in the right spot. Because I've seen lots and lots of people cut this way, and then you either end up, okay, I'll just show you. So we're going to try to do that, and then we're going to try to do that. And, okay. Now that did work, but we still have a little bit of chunk of our score line. But I lucked out that, and you can see here, like I folded it, right? Now look, when I unfold it, do you see that little bit of excess that wants to get folded up in that corner? Okay. So then, if I would have done it like I said, I would have come here on this side of the score line and cut it away, right? And then on this one, on this side of the score line, I'll cut it away. Then when you fold it, it's perfect. Okay? So when you cut your corners, I always fold it up so I can get an edge or like a stop for my scissors. So I do that, and I'm at the score line. My scissors stopped. Okay? And then I cut. And then I do it the other way. I come in right there on this side of the score line, and I cut. And then when you fold it, it's perfect. Okay? So always, that's my best tip for cutting corners. Versus like this kind of thing, let's say you aren't let's say you overcut it, or you always have these hanging tags. You always have this hanging thing. And then you rip it off, and then you've got an extra chunk of paper, fluff. But if I would have done it like, well, I don't have another fold to go by. But if I would have started here on this side of the score line and then pushed it out, then I wouldn't have had that. Then I wouldn't have had that mess in the corner. So that's my tip. I'm sorry. Too much. Sorry. So that's what we did on these. I've got one and another one. And you can see our corners are perfect. Okay? Alright? Start at the corner and cut out and cut away your score line. That's all. Easy? You like? Because everybody has those little tag corners left in the corner. And I've seen people construct lately some stuff, and I'm like, eek, it could be easier than that. I don't tell them. I think I said it one time in a live or something, and then Mindy later was like, you're right about cutting corners. So what we're doing now is we're just gluing down this top score line to give it some strength, because it was a little, this is lighter weight cardstock. And yes, I cut the fairy head off, and I was working so hard to cut these out neatly in a live, and they thought I was being a little laid up with it, and then here I come back and I fold the fairy down. So what I would advise is the next time I will account for this extra fold at the top. I would add a 1/2 inch to the top so I can fold this down and get that neat, straight, finished edge. See how that straightened it up? Versus this edge, see how curvy that is? So that neatened that up. Whenever you add a layer, it wants to straighten it versus that. See? It just gives it one more layer of strength. Okay? So then what we're going to do is we made an extra, well, you got to give this a second to grab. It's kind of slick cardstock, so it does take a second to grab. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to join them like this on the inside and then that on top. Okay? And then this on the inside and that wrapped around. We'll attach that one somehow in just a second. So then what I figured out was I had too many score lines. Like, I only need one, I decided, because I went ahead and cut them, and I was like, I'll piece it together and figure it out and figure out what I need to do. But I knew I might have too many lines. But what I want to do, just to save bulk, is I only want this to sit on top of this. And I'll show you. And I'm going to just cut it with a knife. No, well, it's okay. I'll just move the light. Sorry if that's in your way. Because I ended up cutting this at, let's see, I need to cut off, that's going to wrap around, and this is going to be the back, so I'm going to cut off this edge, okay? And I'm cutting away the score line, and I think I made it, I cut off a 1/2 inch, I think I cut this one at 8 3/8, yes, that's what we did. So then that trimmed away the score line and reduced the width of this so it'll sit more neatly. And I'll show you what I mean. And I think that's where I started with it. So see, it's going to sit. I'm sorry, my phone's going crazy. So it's going to sit like this, and there won't be any excess hanging out over the edge because I cut it a little bit shy. Okay? And then this is just, it'll neaten it up. You'll see. I think I started on the inside though. And okay, so this one I trimmed off, and this one I'm going to fold down. And I need to glue the top of it. Yes. Okay. And you got to be careful not to get your glue out of bounds. You just want it on the score. You don't want it on this score flap. You don't want it on your page. Okay? So then we're going to place it down, but we're using liquid glue, so we've got plenty of room to line it up, right? And then we are going to line it up at the top and the bottom edges to make sure they're neat. And we're going to push it at these top and bottom edges are what matter. This inside edge here doesn't. So we're making sure the outside and the top and bottom are nice and straight. And then like that we can fix that. It'll be okay. And we can cover it up with glue and all of whatever we need, because we're gonna decorate it next. Okay, so there. So now I want to glue this one down and make sure, yes, that will be nice and flush, and that will be neat, and the top and the bottom are lined up nicely. Okay, okay. And then we want to, again, we want to glue the top of this flap, because we're going to fold it in. Okay, and then smooth it out with a glue stick. Okay, and then I had a paper towel somewhere. Well, I can fix it in a second. So then we're going to fold it over. You can see why I've got glue all on my hands. And we're going to still, again, make sure our top and bottom edges are neat, because we don't want it all crooked looking, right? Okay, okay. And then we're going to push it down and finish and give it a second to grab. Just give the glue a minute to latch on. Okay, so now this is the outside edge. And that, we can trim that off. You'll see. Some of these bottoms I might go through and hand trim a little bit, because they have a little bit of, they're not perfect. And I think I might go through and trim the bottoms. Okay? And then what we're doing here is we're just taking our glue stick along. We don't have a flap down here. We didn't need a flap down at the bottom. It's okay. And then I figured I would just fill these with different tags and cards and stuff. And then we're going to make other pockets too. So then this needs to a minute to grab. It's probably just my cardstock though. Okay. I'm just giving it plenty of time to grab, and as I push it down. Okay. Now I think I am going to see if I can't clean that edge up and make it perfect. Because it's got a little bit more character than I want. And I have learned that if your knife is sharp, a big blade does nice for cutting through cardstock and stuff. I'm just using a big old honking box cutter. And it does a nice job. hope I didn't. No, look, looky there. Perfect. Now this looks a little bit, I didn't cut that. So we can just cut that in. Okay. See there? Now that's a perfect bottom edge. And I can fix the others too if any of them stand out to me. Like that one. What I'm gonna do is you know, I think they're okay. Nothing's perfect. It's okay. So then this, what I did was then I laid it like this, right? With this extra flap I have. And then I laid it down on the next page. Okay? But this is going to be my back page. Okay? So what I did was I have this extra flap. And I just laid it down. And straightened it up and made sure it was glued. So then that means we don't need this flap, right? And I'm just going to cut that with scissors. These scissors cut straight. And I'm just cutting along this right folded edge. Neatly. And I might just wrap that flap around. I don't know. I haven't decided. I really want these flaps just to wrap around the back page, but it doesn't work because then they need to overlap. Okay, now what are we going to do? We're just going to leave it like that, and then okay, we'll just do that. And there's something on there. Okay. And this is going to be the inside, and this is going to be the back. Okay. So we just line it up neatly. Make sure it's lined up well, because that will show. This outer edge will show. Okay. And then we got to give it a minute to grab, right? And then there. And we can cover that with lace or anything. Now look here. So then when you open it, now we're going to cover that with lace or washi or something, or a pocket. We're going to add little flips and pockets and stuff so we can cover all of that up. And I don't know how to do it without that. So I'm sorry. And I wish I could have done it under my pictures, and I could have buried it in different stages, but I didn't want to. I wanted to just get it together, get each page covered and get it together, and then assemble it, and then deal with what's left over, you know. So now we've got all of these pockets, and they're just connected from one page to the next, and the cover and the spine are the same as all of the pages. And again, no spine, no cover, no back, no signatures. And it will be a journal with lots and lots of writing space. And then I don't know if you need to see me decorate like to do all of the lace in like these. I just constructed these all the same way with just a 1/2 inch flap. Here, see here, I put lace on it. Some of these I connected to the next page on the inside. See here, those pages are connected. That flap is going just like we did. But this, I used the scrapbook paper, and it was cardstock weight. This, I used the white base so you can see it. But like here, we've got lots of lace, and we can cover all that up. And what, like here, isn't that gorgeous? And I'm going to have to take that out because that's not working. That's getting caught up. That's aggravating me. I can't believe that's happening. But we'll just have to put something else on there. It was cute too. But we'll just have to put, and that was a little flap, and I'll just have to put something else on there. But then on all of these pages, I put a lot of pages in them. There's a lot of pages, you know, there's several pages in all of these notebooks that I made. So I don't know if you need to see me make any of that. You can let me know. This is just a curtain valance. You can see I put edging on the pages. I added little bits in the corners. I didn't want to, like I said, take away too much from her. And, you know, like this is just a flap. There's a flap. There's an accordion. And there's an accordion. And then here is a pocket. And we're going to have pockets on all of these. I don't know why I didn't make more pockets. But then all of these will be pockets. And then we'll add little flaps and doodads all the way throughout. And we'll, of course, clean that up. Okay? So I hope that's clear enough. Like I said, I trimmed a piece of cardstock down. And I added a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And then you use those to attach it and make pockets and trim it away if you don't need it. But I would add, now I know I would add a 1/2 inch above my image size, so then I could have that structure at the top. Because on this I had to fold the image down. And if I had to do over, I would have done that differently. Okay? So you just add 1/4 of an inch all around to frame your image size, and then you add 1/2 inch flaps on 3 sides. And that's all. Okay? So that's the construction. And I hope that's clear enough, and I apologize if it's not. And you can, of course, ask me any questions. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.